Alright guys, so here is an example number 2 for the Holy Grail strategy. I'm looking at your AUD on the weekly time frame. So for this example, we're going to go from weekly to 4 hour to 15 minutes, okay? So right away, you can see that we have taken out the weekly external liquidity, which was this high over here. Now where is the fair value gap? This tiny little fair value gap is going to be our drawn liquidity, which is just right here. There's no fair value gap here, so that is going to be our draw. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame now, and let's see what has happened. So we took out the liquidity here, right over here. Then we have a push up, and going into this level, what you can see is that we have a shift in the market structure right here, right? So now we want to mark out the PD array in the discount, in the premium. Once we have this, we want to look for the market for the premium fair value gap or auto block. So right here we also have a tiny little fair value gap, right? So price has now tapped into this level. So let's go here. Now once that happens, we want to mark out this range low to this range high, this move, right? This was the last move to the downside before price started moving up to the PD area. So now going to the 15-minute time frame, what we need to do is to identify the consolidation phase, right? So over here we have this very clean consolidation, and that is what you want to look for in most cases, okay? Right there, we have a clean cut consolidation. Then we have, another consolidation phase here. Then we have another consolidation or accumulation phase, whatever you want to call it, right? And let me mark this out. So now what we are simply waiting for is a shift in the market structure. And it happens right away. So remember when I said that wicks matter for this strategy, right? We have a wick, so that is giving a sign that, okay, we have a break in structure now. So now, where do we have the extreme fair value gap here? We have the fair value gap just around here, right? So playing this through, now what do we have? We have a shift in the market structure, then we have a break of structure. So remember that second distribution entry, we are looking for that at the moment, okay? So let's see. So now we have a purge on this high over here. We have also mitigated this fair value gap. Let me mark this out. This fair value gap here. So now what we want to wait for is a double break of structure, and there we have our double break of structure. We have a high, lower low, lower high, lower low right there. We didn't take this because we have lower low, lower high, lower low, but then there was no fair value gap, unmitigated fair value gap here. So now what we did, we considered this whole move as a lower low, lower high, lower low. So now we have this fair value gap, and as you can see, we could have maybe gotten a entry of this breaker block just here, or we could have used the 50% of the fair value gap because it is way too big. So using the 0.5 level, right, this would have been your second distribution entry right there. Stop goes just around here, and this is our drawn liquidity. So let's see how this plays out. All right, so as you can see, the take profit was hit. So now the thing is, unlike my other basic strategies, you have to look for these setups, right? So you will not always get the tap on the extreme fair value gap. You have to look for those things that I've taught you in this whole update, okay? You have to look for second distribution entry. If you get that setup, that is absolutely beautiful, okay? And you can see that we have a break of structure right here. A change of we have a market structure shift here, then we have a break of structure, right? And then we have a purge or A, B, C, D, right? That's what I call it. And then what you wait for is a double break of structure, right? So now, if you really think about it here, we also had a lower low, lower high, and lower low here. So you could have actually taken your entry from this fair value gap here as well, from the 50%, put your stop right above this high, and you could have targeted this level, right? No problem. But In most cases, you can consider this as a lower low, lower high, lower low as well, right? There's no problem with that. You have a small second distribution entry here as well, but then you have a larger, like a pullback, and that is absolutely fine. Okay, if you have taken your entry from there, that is also good because we are following the rules here, right? We literally had our entry here. That is a valid entry. We have a lower low, lower high, lower low. And that is the entry from the 50% or from this auto block right there. So yeah, you could have taken your entry here as well, because remember, our bias was set, right? Our take profit was set. We have identified the consolidation. So this should have worked, or every single PD area is going to be respected. So right here, this fair value gap was respected, right? In the premium. Right here, what do we have? We have a break of structure. This fair value gap was respected. Then we have another break of structure. What do we have? Nothing here. Actually, this candle right here. We have another break of structure, right? Price respects this auto block. And we keep going down. Then we have the continuation purge, or the ABC actually here. And then boom, to the take profit level. So that's how you frame your trades. If you can learn to do this, guys, like, it will require some practicing, because, you know, normally you would be waiting for price to tap into your fair value gap here, right? But then, as I taught you, the second distribution entry, you have to keep that in mind. We mitigated only this fair value gap, and then the setup provided us the second distribution entry. We could have got it in here, or consider this whole move as a lower low, lower high, a lower low, and entry of the 50% level. Our bias was strong, so we targeted this level. So let's move on to the next example now.